Going through grief in my 30s made me realise how fortunate I was to be going through grief in my 30s for the first time. Because I felt like when all this stuff happened, the sort of youth of my life ended, and then suddenly it's like now you're dealing with adult situations and you are now adult. And it made me think of all my friends over the years who had lost parents. Like I had a mate who lost his dad when he was 6, and friends that lose their parents when they're 12 or 14 or 16 or 18 or 25. And I look back and I'm like, that's when my friends lost their youth and innocence, and I just had no idea at the time because you're 6 or you're 14 and you just don't really understand adult themes. And looking back at it just made me so sad that they dealt with such adult themes and feelings at such a young age, and that through no choice of their own took their youth away from them. And how sort of grateful I was to be in my 30s when that happened to me. And this song was basically inspired by that. It's called The End of Youth. I've been depressed since you left, tried to fill the hole with wine. Stopped the drugs when she came, cleaned my act up overnight. If you reach with no reply, I see you when I see you, man. You can't tell me through the fall if we don't know if I can land. Try to grow with the past, tears me down to size. Tell the world how to process, but don't take the same advice. I remember what I say, but the morning's filled with fear. Can't get a handle on my grief when every memory turns to tears. It's been a long year, and we're not even halfway there. Is this the end of life when pain starts taking over? I just don't know if I can ever just let go. Everything's falling apart, my love is real, there's never closure. I sit so bad. took me to a Damien Rice show when I was like 11 or 12 in Dublin. And I remember before then, I picked up an electric guitar and I learned, you know, Sweet Home Alabama and all these sort of like electric songs. And I thought, to be a musician, you get in a band, and that's what you do. And I remember going to watch Damien Rice, and I watched him on stage, and it's just this guy with an acoustic guitar singing songs that he wrote. And when I was literally standing like here in the crowd looking up, and I remember thinking, that's what I want to do. I want to do that as my profession for life. And that day, he had a band not too dissimilar to this, like beautiful string section, like proper musicians, and it was an amazing show. But obviously, when you're 12, you can't just go, right, I'm having a band and just, you know, getting on the strings, blah blah blah. So what I did is I started playing acoustically, and then I started with a loop pedal. And if anyone's seen my show, I use a loop pedal. Since I was 14 years old, for my 14th birthday, I got a Boss loop station, and I sort of did that in the knowledge that one day I would probably get a band, and then it just never happened, and then the loop show just became my thing. And my dream as a singer-songwriter has always been to sound. I know this sounds ridiculous, but my dream was not to play stadiums. My dream was to play venues like this. I started off being a singer-songwriter, and along the way, by just being open to like different genres and working with people, it sort of morphed into this pop career where we're doing SoFi tomorrow night, and that's a totally different show. But at the core of it, like all I ever wanted was to stand on stage in a theatre and have people be quiet and listen to the songs that I'd written. And at the first point of my career when I did theatres, I was 19 and my fan base were like 14, 15, 16, and the gigs were like, they were loud, they were good, and I remember being so happy that people were coming to the shows, that it was just this kind of like big party. But I remember being a singer-songwriter playing these open mic nights, and just wishing people would listen to the songs that I'd written. And they were all sort of back to me, drinking at the bar, being like, when's this fat ginger kid gonna shut up? And now I get to stand on stage with you with such a fantastic group of musicians in a beautiful venue. And I play this song, so I just want to say thank you so much for this. Thank you. Now, as I said, I like vinyl, I like listening to vinyl, and I make my albums based on when they get flipped over, and I am very aware that 6 tracks into Subtract, you're like, this is a bit depressing. When's he going to cheer up? And so I put this song at the end of side 1 to lull you into a false sense of security. Because when it flips over to side B, we're right back at it, baby. This is a song that I wrote, basically my parents next year are celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. And it's been, like, watching them do it has been a big inspiration to me, because it's not pretty at times. It's sometimes really gnarly, and you know there can be lots of like really big arguments, shouting matches, but they always make up. They always make up, and they always get to a point where they're then stronger because they made up. It's been something amazing to watch over the last 32 years of my life, and you know I'm trying to bring it forward into the relationship that I'm in, of just like honesty and. Yeah, just always making up, basically. And this is a song, basically, you know, love is many things. Love is not a Hollywood movie. Love is not, it's also not the opposite of that. It is a very colourful spectrum, a kaleidoscope, if you will, of different things. So this is what inspired this song. It's called Colourblind, and yeah, that is you and me. Forever changing, we make life interesting. Some days we're red and some days we both agree. But Can you pull the curtain, let me see the sunshine? I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry, you'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Thanks so much. So, creating this record, it kind of, as I said, happened by accident. The way that it happened is Tony was re-recording Red, and Aaron, who she worked with before, was basically doing the song that we had together, Everything Has Changed, and then another song we done with Red. And so I got hooked up on email, and it was like, hey, Aaron, blah, blah, blah. We did songs, and then she said, you guys should work together sometime. And I said to Aaron, well, I'm going to be in New York in a month. Do you want to get dinner? This was like November 2021. We went out and we got some sushi, and we were talking. I basically made what I thought was Subtract, and I was talking to him about that, and we were talking about what would the project be that we make afterwards, which coincidentally is actually coming out next Friday. So we spoke about this, and I said, look, I want to make this album, which is called Variations, and it's going to be a variations of a season with all of my friends' stories in it, and we sort of spoke about this, and he said, well, I'll send you some music and we can get going from there. I thought it'd be like guitar loops or something like that, because my way of writing songs is I pick up a guitar, I'll strum a chord, and if it sounds good, I'll strum another chord, and then I'll start sort of humming words and melodies, and then the songs sort of come from there. But I got this folder of music from Aaron, it was completely completed. It was like finished music. And what I came to realise was that the way that the collaboration works is he does the music and I do the lyrics and melody, which is incredibly freeing as a songwriter, because you sort of get sent this music and you suddenly hear melodies and words come out of these like beautiful soundscapes. It's quite weird how to describe it. I would describe it like a game of Tetris, I guess. You kind of like hear it and you see where the words and the melodies fit in the music. I have an odd brain. But anyway, so we sort of started working on what is now Awesome Variations, and then, you know, Cherry got diagnosed with a tumour and Jamal died, and I kind of went straight into this court case, but I was still writing music throughout this time, and Aaron would send me folders of music, and I'd have a bad day, and I'd be like, Aaron, can you send me 7 more instrumentals? And I'd just go and I'd just write, and it was my way of like making myself feel like, I don't know, like something good was coming from it, you know, that I was finding a way to channel sadness and depression and grief and stuff like that. And the next 5 songs were written on the same day, and I got sent this folder. I had a particularly bad day, which I'll explain later, and I got sent this folder. I said, Aaron, send me a folder, sent this folder, and I just wrote one song after the other, after the other, after the other, and it for some reason, they kind of go in sequence in the album. I sort of see the first side of Subtract about one thing and the second side about another, but this song was the first song that I wrote that day. It's called Borderline, and we like it.
Sadness always finds an end, sneaks its way past, infecting everything, and every chapter has an end. But this is one I'm meant to see, don't you think? And the blackbirds they fly like a friend on the skyline. Right now, I feel I'm running from the light. In darkness, shivering from my eyes. One foot in, one out, stuck on the borderline. Which way will I? 'Cause I should take this on the chin, but I don't even know how all of this began. We are made to mold and bend. How can I wish for nothing when it's still the same? Right now, I feel I'm running from the light. In darkness, shivering from my eyes. One foot in, one out, stuck on the borderline. Which way will I? Tears never arrive. These ghosts are dry. We are so alive. Waiting on the borderline. Waiting on the borderline. Should pour another drink. Try to drown the pain that's all too long around. I'll shut off the things I think. There's nothing